wait, can we get pictures of you before you go? Because we were on a boat, and they brought another boat to take her and her hair and makeup people. And she was like, yeah. So we took like one last little quick shot. And then everyone was like, can I get it? And she was like, yo, I'll see you. Come on, we're gonna do the Grammys. We're gonna do all the award shows. So don't even worry about it. We'll get it then. And we were all like, you promise? And she was like, yeah, come on. So it was just like, okay, cool.
Yeah. Tell people about that. It ain't just Aaliyah. And stop acting like you and Aaliyah was all this lovey-dovey, because Rachel Roy was pregnant when you was over there sneaking around with Aaliyah, nigga. Don't act like Rachel wasn't your girl. She was pregnant when Aaliyah was running around with you. And then Aaliyah died and you went and married Rachel. But don't act like homeboy ain't have Rachel first.
The planes felt sketchy because they were tiny, smaller planes, and walking on the tarmac to these small planes to get us to Bahamas, something just was just like, because the plane just was like, oh, this is a tiny plane. They were going round.
Girl, buckle up. Because the internet just broke in half, and it's all thanks to Aaliyah's ride or die bestie, who just cracked open a vault of buried secrets like it was nothing. And baby, she didn't just spill a little tea, she flooded the room. We're talking receipts that fans have been whispering about in the shadows for years, but now it's real, it's raw, and it's shaking the music industry to its core. Because according to this insider, Aaliyah wasn't just allegedly in love, she was pregnant. And not by just any man, nope, the whispers point straight to Jay-Z. Yup. Jay-Z, y'all. And let me tell you, this pregnancy, it wasn't just a secret. It was allegedly seen as a threat, a problem that needed to be handled. The industry ain't ready for this level of darkness, but we're diving in. Now things get downright chilling because the streets are saying Aaliyah's tragic death might not have been an accident at all. Fans are now connecting the dots, and it's painting a terrifying picture. Could her plane crash have been a hit? A way to silence her forever? Nayan Ellis, Aaliyah, the same name from that iconic Rock the Boat shoot, spoke out in a resurfaced interview.
P. Diddy is not the only one with weird patterns of this. Kelly when she was 15 and he was 27 as well. And during this whole time, Jay-Z was in the orbit.
She was unconscious. She didn't choose to get on that plane. There were phone calls made. There are witnesses who signed NDAs.
She was there in the Bahamas. She felt the energy shift. And y'all, she didn't say names, but her words had Jay-Z's name written all over the subtext. According to Nine, there was something Aaliyah was keeping close to the chest. Late night phone calls, hidden meetings, chemistry so strong it was burning up off camera. And if you're putting the puzzle together like we are, it's giving Jay-Z energy hard. But it gets even wilder, because way before Beyonce dropped Dangerously in Love, Jay-Z had his eyes locked on someone else. Not just a crush, not just a fling. Sources say he was obsessed with Aaliyah. He wanted her. Bad. And just when he was getting close, Dame Dash swooped in and locked it down. Jay-Z was reportedly heated. And from there, the quiet beef between Jay and Dame began to boil. Back then, Beyonce was still coming up with Destiny's Child, while Jay-Z was plotting long-term legacy moves. Aaliyah was the R&B fashion princess, a literal icon. She had it all. And Jay, he wanted in. But if she really got pregnant, that wasn't just love, it was legacy-threatening chaos. And here's where it gets ice cold.
Aaliyah is key to everything. Aaliyah and I were very serious. We talked about getting married, so I know exactly what went on.
22-year-old rising star Aaliyah has been killed in a horrific plane crash.
It's a pain that you couldn't understand.
It changed you, turned you into a monster. When Dame was at his lowest, Jay committed the ultimate betrayal.
Plane crash should be accidental. Why would any testimony about what happened leading up to it need to be covered under a non-disclosure agreement if there wasn't foul play? She was unconscious.
Fans believe Aaliyah's pregnancy may have ruined Jay-Z's perfect plan because, let's be honest, pairing up with Beyonce, the angelic superstar with a church background and polished image, that was the ultimate PR chess move. But Aaliyah, a surprise pregnancy could have blown the whole game wide open. It would have flipped Jay's clean-cut empire upside down. It would have changed everything. So people started whispering, maybe Jay made a decision, not for love, but for control, for self-preservation, to protect the brand. And when you look at the timeline, it matches.
What's up, what's up? This is Beyonce on the red carpet with one of the hottest female artists out here. Miss Aaliyah, how you doing, girl?
It's so good to see you again.
You too. She's just looking fabulous. What are you wearing tonight?
I'm wearing Gucci shoes, Gucci. Got a little Indian jewelry working.
Oh, that is hot. All right.
Thank you.
Now, you've been working it with these movies. Were you nervous?
Very nervous, but I'm real happy. It's something I've wanted for a long time, so to finally make that transition, it's great.
Just weeks before her death, Aaliyah, young, vibrant, scared of flying, boards a tiny plane and dies in a crash that never should have happened. But it's what happened before she boarded that has fans truly shook. Because guess what? She didn't even want to get on that plane. Aaliyah had made it clear she hated small aircraft. Her glam team, her dancers, even her close friends said she avoided them like the plague. So why did she board that rickety, overloaded plane in the Bahamas? Well, according to local witness Kingsley Russell, she didn't walk on it willingly.
She was never investigated. Hype was never questioned. Lenny Kravitz made a statement, and it was never publicized. She was unconscious. She didn't choose to get on that plane. There were phone calls made. There are witnesses who signed NDAs. Why would you need to sign a non-disclosure agreement about a plane crash?
He claims she was either sedated or unconscious when they loaded her on board. Yes, you read that right. They allegedly put her on that doomed jet unaware. And why? Because someone reportedly pushed for that final shoot day, delaying her return flight. And guess who made that call? Hype Williams. While no one's pointing fingers directly, insiders say that one extra day of filming changed everything. Aaliyah was supposed to be headed to Miami. She had plans. She was going to link with Dame, but suddenly, she's rerouted, fatigued, stressed, and Lenny Kravitz, yes, Lenny, had even offered his private plane, but in a bizarre twist, someone else used it, and the offer disappeared. Coincidence or something more sinister? Everything, the last-minute schedule shift, the swapped plane, the sudden unconscious state, it all reeks of setup. And with Jay-Z allegedly juggling Beyonce and Aaliyah at the same time, fans are starting to ask, was this a cover-up dressed as an accident? Because y'all, the plane was overweight, the pilot wasn't licensed, and the crash, instant. You do the math. Now hold on, because Jay-Z's track record with secret pregnancies is sketchy at best.
Enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane, to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce, who was struggling. Let's just say allegedly that happened.
So that takes me to when you speak on Aaliyah. People really was honed in when you spoke on Dame Dash, Aaliyah, and you're speaking on something where you're saying, I wish that situation will be investigated further.
No, to be investigated. Period.
Period.
It was never investigated. Hype was never questioned. Lenny Kravitz made a statement, and it was never publicized.
Enter Ramir Satterthwaite, a man who's been fighting to prove Jay-Z is his dad for years. His mother, Wanda, claimed she had a teenage fling with Jay. A few months later, baby Ramir. But guess who's dodged the paternity test for over a decade? Jay-Z. Not once has he agreed to take that DNA test. Legal teams, blocked. Requests, ignored. And now fans are wondering, did he do the same to Aaliyah? If Jay-Z could allegedly ghost a whole child, what's to say he didn't do the same to Aaliyah? It's not confirmed, but the pattern is unsettling. And after Aaliyah passed, everything fell apart. Rockefeller split in two. Dame Dash and Jay-Z, never the same again. And the rumor mill, it's been grinding nonstop ever since, because insiders always knew Aaliyah was the real reason behind the fracture. Dame didn't just lose a partner, he lost the love of his life. And allegedly, he always blamed Jay-Z. So when Dame and Jay finally cut ties, they didn't just walk away from a business deal, they walked away from each other. And guess what stood right there at the heart of their shattered brotherhood? Aaliyah. Let's not forget the R. Kelly disaster. We all know that haunting detail. Aaliyah was just 15 when she allegedly married him.
You feel like
Why the fuck would you need to sign a nigga don't ask about a plane crash if it was accidental?
Do you feel like...
Riddle me that. Riddle me that. Work with me here in this moment.
And I'm gonna ask you.
A plane crash should be accidental.
That forged certificate claimed she was 18, and while the world was still reeling from that red flag, Jay-Z somehow thought it was a good look to collaborate with R. Kelly. Baby, the betrayal was loud. Jay didn't just team up with R. Kelly once, he went all in. 2 full albums, a whole tour. Meanwhile, Dame Dash, who was actually in love with Aaliyah, refused to be involved in anything that included Kelly. He said in interviews he couldn't even stomach watching the Best of Both Worlds videos. But Jay was out here chasing the bag, even if it meant teaming up with a man who traumatized someone his so-called brother once loved. And fans haven't forgotten that. That wasn't just about music. That was a line that should never have been crossed. And now we gotta talk about the other shady layers, starting with Aaliyah's own family. A viral comment recently claimed her father was livid when he found out she secretly married R. Kelly. That part seems to check out, but what came next? Allegedly, her dad was offered royalties, yes, R. Kelly's music rights, as hush money, as in, don't go public, don't sue us, and we'll cut you in on the deal. And the speculation that he took it.
I wouldn't know how he feeling. Like, I would hope he would think about it and this would be in his mind, but I wouldn't actually know what another person is feeling at this time. You just can think that this person knows and thinking about it and stuff like that. I really want to know how that is.
That instead of protecting Aaliyah, he protected the industry. But sadly, it doesn't stop there. One of R. Kelly's other victims, Lizette Martinez, made a shocking claim during his trial that Aaliyah's own mother was not only aware of what was happening, but may have been involved in a relationship with R. Kelly herself. Now, Aaliyah's mom has denied it forever, but with multiple voices coming forward, people are connecting the dots. Because Aaliyah, she was surrounded by men twice her age, and women who allegedly looked the other way. She was failed by the people who should have fought for her. And just when you think the chaos ends there, guess what? The streets say R. Kelly may have gotten Aaliyah pregnant too. As a teen, the rushed marriage, that wasn't romantic. That was allegedly a legal cover-up, a way to make that pregnancy seem legit. And that baby? Terminated in silence, no headlines, no justice. Just more industry secrets, buried deeper. And if you thought Jay-Z and Dame Dash were the only ones territorial over Aaliyah, you'd be wrong. Because Timbaland, yes, the super producer, went on the record and admitted something that shocked everyone.
Like he felt bad because he really felt like I violated or I was going to leak that nigga, I was the nigga that when you was with Aaliyah and was running around holding hands with Aaliyah way before Dame.
Oh, you used to be with us at Jason Williams' crib.
Well, not in a protective way, not as a friend. Nope, this was grown man love. For a girl who was barely 16. He literally said he had to keep reminding himself she was just a kid, that he had to mentally shift her into the little sister box just to stop himself from crossing lines. It gets worse. Fans noticed that Timbaland's ex-wife looks almost identical to Aaliyah. Same vibe, same aura, same energy, and people started asking the obvious. Was he trying to recreate the one he couldn't have? Then, there's Foxy Brown and Maya, 2 women who got iced out for not playing Jay-Z's alleged games. Starting with Foxy Brown, there have been rumors for years that Jay-Z was messing with Foxy when she was just 15 or 16. She's denied it, said it was all cap, that the infamous quote about her VCR being repossessed by Jay-Z was fake, but the gossip never stopped. Then comes Maya, who was supposed to work with Jay, but behind the scenes, she allegedly called him out, told him straight up he was controlling, that she wasn't about to let some man run her creative space. And what happened next? Suddenly, she's blacklisted.
I was shocked when Jay said the line in Picasso Baby, yes, because we've talked about that. We have a history that supersedes music. And we know how this business works. We sit back and we laugh at those rumors. We laugh at that. I think he began to feel the pressure because people were saying my age, the age thing. She was 15, 14. She was 15, 14. And after a while, that gets to a person. The Jay I know, the Sean I know, never comes out of character.
Labeled difficult, bougie, and hard to work with. Sound familiar? Fans believe Jay had a hand in ruining her rep, that if he can't control you, he destroys you. And then there's the final, most heartbreaking piece of the puzzle. Aaliyah was on the verge of something big, something powerful. People close to her, friends, family, even Dame, have all hinted that Aaliyah was about to flip the script. She was allegedly planning to speak out, to reclaim her voice, maybe even start a family, maybe even name names. And if she did, it would have destroyed everything. Because Jay-Z, R. Kelly, Timbaland, Dame Dash, they all had something to lose if the truth came out. If Aaliyah broke her silence, their empires would crumble. So now the question lingers like smoke in the air. Was she silenced before she ever had the chance to speak? Because if even half of this is true, this isn't just a sad story.
I wasn't a part of any of that, and the karma happens. But the thing I didn't understand is I was like, I know I'm not fucking with that. And because of the moral challenge and him choosing one way, I knew morally we weren't the same. So to me, Rockefeller was defunct. It was over. I couldn't fuck with it. It was something that to me was just like, not to say unforgivable, but I couldn't understand it.
It's one of the biggest cover-ups in music history. Aaliyah wasn't just a rising star, she was a threat to the men who thought they could control her. And when a woman starts standing up in an industry that's built on silence, the powerful, they panic. Now we need to know, do you believe the whispers? Do you think the rumors are actually the truth? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and don't forget to check out the next video because what's coming next, even more explosive?